What's up, gamers? My name is Thundercleese, and I wanted to share a few basic tips that I have learned throughout the years that'll really help your game in Fortnite, and it's all about positioning. So that first tip is all about the right shoulder peek. The reticle is over your right shoulder, not your left. So when you peek through something like a window around a corner, make sure your character is on the left. So through a window, you want to peek like this, so your character is more behind the wall than anything. If you were to do it from the opposite way, by the time your reticle is in a spot where this absolutely goes for around rocks and terrain as well. You're going to have an easier time if you're peeking around this side of the rock on the right hand side than if you were to go all the way over to the left. Luckily, this rock has a little bit of extra protection for us, but had that not been there, we'd be peeking way out here by the time we could get a shot. You'd have a better chance of going above than you would on the left hand side. Bushes are another thing I tend to see a lot of people make mistakes on, where you're peeking way too far out and you're really showing where you are, or you're using a sniper rifle that has a 4x scope on it and you're giving yourself away. You want to make sure that you're kind of back peeking, seeing where everybody is, and especially if you have a 4x scope, you're not peeking until you know exactly where they are and you have a good shot. Don't just aim down your sight the entire time. It'll give away your position very quickly. Another common mistake I always see is when people are on rooftops. So whether somebody's down that way, you don't want to come all the way over here to try to shoot them down. You want to try to outplay them, especially if you get like a peak like this would be so much better. Using the very tops of the roofs are always going to be much more beneficial to you than coming way down here. And that goes for the same way up here. There's countless times I've seen somebody who had absolute advantage up here, but they didn't trust their aim and wanted to be way up here instead and think that you have the advantage being on the high ground. But I believe this is just a bot, but this is a perfect example where you want to try to keep that right shoulder peak before pouncing on him. You want to keep popping out and shooting. Don't just stick your neck out and immediately go for the kill. If you noticed, I kept that right shoulder peak, shooting on this side, and I kept going back into cover. The worst thing I could have done is jump out and started blasting, because that becomes a 50-50, aka they still could have had a very good chance of doing high damage to me, even if I would have won that fight, and that makes me very susceptible to third parties. But notice on this one, I didn't just go straight up to try to attack him. I came down here, used the hill kind of to my advantage, and then blasted them with a headshot. The next tip I would give is don't be predictable. So let's say we have somebody right up there, anywhere on any of these rooftops, and I have this right shoulder peak. That's all well and good if I tried to go for the snipe, go for the snipe, go for the snipe. But if I keep doing this over and over and over again, they're going to absolutely eventually get a good shot on me because I'm doing the same thing over and over again. You want to not be predictable, so you could do something like come over to the window, try to take a shot. You could easily just, instead of going for a shot, reload, shot, reload, try changing it up just in the patterns, going shot, hide, shot, and then kind of change up the rhythm. Or what I would probably do is take a shot, maybe take a third shot, and while I'm reloading, try to jump down while they're hidden, run over here, and try to take a shot over here. Or possibly run down this way and try to get a sneak shot right over here. You want to not be predictable, otherwise you're going to open yourself up for more easy snipes against you. One of the other notes I would absolutely give, when you're in the bunkers, I don't like to get into these fights if I don't have to. Sometimes it's just going to happen and you're just going to try to have to get that cheeky snipe or try to find some clever way to not just peek over and over again. What I like to do is when I hear the footsteps, or rather see the footsteps, I'm already up here and I'm going to try to get like a jump shot or something like that on somebody rather than wait for them to come to me. Those are just a few basic tips that you could absolutely use to make your game better. Please let me know if any of those helped, or even tips that you would even give for me. I'd always appreciate it. Thanks for watching.